What if I told you that everything you've been doing to feel better, working harder, ignoring your emotions, or pretending everything is fine, is actually making things worse? Sounds counterintuitive, doesn't it? But here's the truth. Most of us are stuck in a cycle of anxiety, self-doubt, and overthinking because we're chasing the wrong solutions. We've been taught to suppress our struggles, to push through, without addressing the root of the problem. And yet, deep down, you know it's not working. Have you ever felt like no matter how much you try, you're still overwhelmed, stuck, or even lost? You're not alone. The good news is, there's a way out, and it's not as complicated as you might think. What if you could break free from the cycle and start feeling more in control of your emotions and your life? Imagine waking up with clarity, confidence, and the tools to handle whatever comes your way. In this video, I'm going to show you how to shift your mindset, embrace your imperfections, and take simple, practical steps to regain control. It's not about being perfect. It's about learning to thrive in the chaos. Stick with me, and by the end of this, you'll see your struggles in a completely new light. Ready to change your life? Let's get started. It's fascinating how society has convinced us that happiness is the ultimate goal of life. From childhood, we're told to chase it relentlessly, as if it's a trophy waiting at the end of some imaginary race. But here is the catch. What happens when we don't feel happy all the time? Many people end up feeling like failures, as though they've missed some universal secret everyone else seems to know. This constant pressure to be happy can ironically lead to deep insatisfaction, leaving us wondering if we're broken for not living in a perpetual state of joy. Think about it. How often do you scroll through social media and see people flaunting their perfect lives, smiling faces, exotic vacations, flawless relationships? It's easy to fall into the trap of comparing your reality to their highlight reel. But here's the truth. Happiness isn't a permanent state. It's fleeting, like a breeze on a warm day. And that's okay. Instead of chasing an unrealistic ideal, what if we embrace the moments of joy as they come, without expecting them to last forever? After all, isn't it the contrast, the ups and downs, that makes life interesting? The real problem isn't that we're unhappy, it's that we've been conditioned to believe we shouldn't be. This creates a vicious cycle where we feel miserable about our misery. But what if we could reframe this narrative? What if we stopped seeing happiness as a destination and started viewing it as a byproduct of living authentically, even through struggles? This shift in perspective might just be the key to unlocking a more fulfilling life. And speaking of struggles, let's explore how the challenges we face every day shape our experience of happiness. Life has a funny way of throwing curveballs when we least expect it. Whether it's a tense moment with your boss, a misunderstanding with a loved one, or that nagging sense of loneliness when your social circle feels distant. These struggles are part of the human experience. They create what some might call a baseline of misery, a layer of discomfort that seems to linger in the background of our daily lives. But here's the thing. These challenges aren't signs that something is wrong with you. They're simply evidence that you're alive and engaged with the complexities of existence. Take work, for example. Many of us wrestle with difficult colleagues, overwhelming deadlines, or the sinking feeling that we're stuck in the wrong career. It's easy to let these moments define our sense of self-worth. But what if they didn't have to? Instead of seeing these struggles as failures, we could view them as opportunities to learn resilience. After all, every tough conversation or missed opportunity teaches us something about others, about ourselves, and about the world we navigate. And let's not forget relationships. They're messy, unpredictable, and often a source of anxiety. But isn't that what makes them meaningful? The truth is, no connection is perfect, and no family is without its quirks. The beauty lies in the effort we put into understanding and growing with one another. These everyday struggles, while uncomfortable, are the threads that weave a life full of depth and meaning. But what happens when we start to feel like our struggles are more than just normal? When we begin to believe that our unhappiness is a personal failure? Let's dive into that next. Imagine this. You're having a rough day. Maybe your plans fell apart, or you're feeling disconnected from the people around you. That's the first layer of unhappiness. But then, a second layer creeps in. The voice in your head that whispers, "Why can't you just be happy? What's wrong with you?" Suddenly, you're not just unhappy, you're unhappy about being unhappy. It's a vicious cycle that can feel impossible to escape. This second layer often stems from the belief that happiness is the default setting for life. When we're not happy, we assume we've failed in some way, as if we're broken or incapable of living a normal life. But let's pause for a moment. Who decided that happiness should be constant? Life is messy and unpredictable, and full of challenges. Feeling down, frustrated, or even lost is not a failure. It's a natural response to the complexities of being human. The problem isn't the sadness itself, it's the judgment we attach to it. So, what can we do about this? One way to break free from the double layer of unhappiness is to practice acceptance. Instead of resisting your feelings or labeling them as bad, try sitting with them. Ask yourself, what is this emotion trying to teach me? Maybe it's a sign that something in your life needs attention or change. By embracing your emoticons, even the difficult ones, you can begin to strip away that second layer of judgment. And once you do, you might find that your struggles aren't failures at all but opportunities for growth. Speaking of growth, let's explore how shifting our perspective can transform the way we see life's challenges. What if the struggles you face weren't signs of failure, but stepping stones to something greater? It's easy to fall into the trap of seeing challenges as roadblocks, moments that derail our plans and make us question our worth. But here is a radical idea. What if those very challenges were the universe's way of nudging you toward growth? Think about it. Every time you've faced a difficult situation, haven't you come out the other side a little stronger, a little wiser? It's not about avoiding the storm. It's about learning how to dance in the rain. Take a moment to reflect on a recent setback. Maybe it was a missed opportunity at work or a falling out with a friend. Instead of replaying the situation in your mind and beating yourself up, try asking, what did I learn from this? Perhaps it taught you patience, resilience, or the importance of setting boundaries. When you start to see difficulties as lessons rather than punishments, you reclaim your power. Suddenly, life's burdens become less about suffering and more about exploration. A chance to discover who you are and what you're capable of. Reframing your perspective doesn't mean ignoring pain or pretending everything is fine. It's about shifting the narrative. Instead of saying, "Why is this happening to me?" try asking, "What can I take from this experience?" This small change in mindset can have a profound impact on how you navigate life's ups and downs. And as you begin to see challenges in a new light, you might realize that a life filled with struggles isn't just bearable. It can actually be deeply meaningful. Let's explore what it means to live a life that's not just happy, but truly interesting. We've been sold the idea that the perfect life is calm, predictable, and free of complications. But let's be honest, doesn't that sound a little boring? The truth is, the most interesting lives are often the ones filled with twists, turns, and yes, even struggles. Think about the stories that inspire you. Are they about people who had everything handed to them, or those who faced challenges and grew because of them? An interesting life isn't one without problems. It's one where those problems add depth, meaning, and richness to the journey. Consider this. The moments that shape us the most are rarely the easy ones. It's the heartbreaks, the career detours, the sleepless nights spent wrestling with big questions that leave a lasting imprint. These experiences, while uncomfortable, make life vibrant and memorable. Imagine a life without challenges, no risks, no failures, no surprises. Sure, it might feel safe, but would it feel fulfilling? The beauty of an interesting life lies in its unpredictability, in the way it forces us to adapt, grow, and discover new horizons. But here's the kicker: embracing an interesting life requires a mindset shift. Instead of chasing perfection or stability, we need to lean into the messiness of it all. It's about finding joy in the chaos, appreciating the lessons hidden in the struggles, and recognizing that a life full of complexity is also a life full of opportunity. And while this might sound daunting, it's also incredibly liberating. After all, isn't it better to live a life that's messy but meaningful than one that's perfect but empty? Speaking of messiness, let's talk about one of the most common companions of an interesting life: anxiety. Anxiety has a way of making us feel like something's wrong with us, doesn't it? That constant restlessness, the overthinking, the nagging sense that we're not doing enough. It can be exhausting. But what if anxiety wasn't the enemy we've been taught to fight? What if it's simply a natural part of being human? Especially for those of us who are sensitive, introspective, or deeply curious about the world. In fact, that restlessness you feel might just be a sign that you're alive, engaged, and striving for something more. Think about it. The people who question, who reflect, who seek meaning in their lives are often the ones who feel the weight of anxiety the most. It's not because they're weak, it's because they care. They care about their relationships, their purpose, their impact on the world. And while this sensitivity can feel like a burden, it's also a gift. It allows you to experience life on a deeper level, to notice things others might overlook, and to connect with the richness of human experience. The key is learning to work with your anxiety, rather than against it. One way to do this is by reframing how you see your restlessness. Instead of viewing it as a flaw, try seeing it as a compass. What is your anxiety pointing you toward? Is it asking you to address an unresolved issue, take a leap of faith, or simply slow down and breathe? By listening to your anxiety instead of silencing it, you can begin to uncover its purpose. And as you do, you'll realize that anxiety isn't a roadblock. It's a guide, leading you toward growth and self-discovery. Speaking of growth, let's explore how the challenges we face can actually build our courage and resilience. It's often said that courage isn't the absence of fear, it's the ability to move forward despite it. And isn't that the essence of growth? Life's challenges, as painful as they may be, are the very things that shape us into stronger, more resilient individuals. Think about a time when you faced something you thought you couldn't handle: a breakup, a career setback, or even a personal failure. At the time, it probably felt unbearable. But looking back, don't you see how it pushed you to grow in ways you never imagined? Difficulties have a way of revealing our inner strength, even when we don't feel particularly strong. It's in those moments of struggle that we discover courage we didn't know we had. For example, someone who loses a job might initially feel devastated, but that same loss could lead them to explore a new career path they never considered. Or someone who faces rejection in love might learn the importance of self-worth and boundaries. These moments of hardship, while uncomfortable, are often the catalysts for profound transformation. The beauty of growth through adversity is that it's not about perfection, it's about progress. Each challenge you face is like a weight at the gym, building your emotional and mental muscles. And while it's tempting to wish for an easier life, it's the hard-earned victories that give us a sense of purpose and fulfillment. So, the next time you're in the thick of a struggle, remember, this is where courage is born. And as we navigate these challenges, we often find ourselves questioning the bigger picture, our relationships, our work, and the choices we make. Let's face it, no one has all the answers when it comes to love or work. These two areas of life are messy, unpredictable, and often leave us questioning if we're doing it right. Relationships, for instance, are rarely the fairy tales we imagine. They're full of misunderstandings, unmet expectations, and moments of doubt. But isn't that what makes them real? The truth is, no one enters a relationship fully prepared. We stumble, we learn, and we grow, together or apart. And that's okay. Love isn't about perfection. It's about connection, effort, and the courage to show up, flaws and all. Work isn't much different. How many of us have felt stuck in a job that doesn't fulfill us or overwhelmed by the pressure to succeed? The reality is, career paths are rarely linear. You might take a job thinking it's your dream role, only to realize it's not what you expected. Or you might face setbacks that make you question your abilities. But here's the thing, every misstep, every detour, teaches you something valuable. Maybe it's resilience, maybe it's clarity about what you truly want. Either way, these experiences are part of the journey, not signs that you've failed. The key to navigating love and work is acceptance. Accepting that there's no perfect formula, no guaranteed outcome. Instead of striving for perfection, what if we focused on progress? What if we allowed ourselves to make mistakes, to change directions, to embrace the uncertainty? After all, isn't life more about the process than the destination? And speaking of the process, let's explore how embracing life's imperfections can lead to a deeper sense of peace and fulfillment. We spend so much time trying to fix, perfect, or control our lives that we often forget one simple truth. Life isn't meant to be flawless. It's messy, unpredictable, and full of surprises, both good and bad. Yet, we often measure our worth by how problem-free our lives appear. But what if we stopped chasing perfection? What if we embraced the idea that a life filled with ups and downs is not just normal, but meaningful? Acceptance doesn't mean giving up. It means making peace with the fact that life's imperfections are what make it real. Think about it. When was the last time everything in your life felt perfectly aligned? Probably never, right? And that's okay. The beauty of life lies in its unpredictability, in the moments that challenge us and force us to grow. Instead of resisting these moments, try leaning into them. For example, if you're feeling overwhelmed by work or relationships, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Acceptance isn't about ignoring your struggles. It's about recognizing that they're part of the bigger picture. They're what make your story uniquely yours. When we let go of the need for constant happiness or stability, we open ourselves up to a deeper sense of peace. Life doesn't have to be perfect to be valuable. It doesn't have to be calm to be meaningful. By embracing life as it is, with all its chaos and beauty, we can find a sense of freedom that no amount of control could ever offer. And when we look back on our lives, perhaps from the perspective of our final days, we might just see that the imperfections were what made it all worthwhile. Imagine yourself at the end of your life, looking back on everything you've experienced. What would truly matter to you in that moment? Would it be the fleeting moments of happiness, or the depth of the challenges you overcame? From the perspective of the deathbed, life's struggles take on a new meaning. They're no longer just sources of pain or frustration. They become the defining moments that shaped who you are. The messy, imperfect, and unpredictable parts of life are often the ones that make it worth living. Think about the stories you'll remember. It won't be the days when everything went smoothly, but the times when you faced adversity and came out stronger. Maybe it was the heartbreak that taught you resilience, or the career failure that pushed you toward your true passion. These moments, though painful at the time, are ones that give life its richness. From the vantage point of the deathbed, you might even find yourself grateful for the challenges, because they made your journey uniquely yours. This perspective isn't meant to be morbid. It's meant to be liberating. When you stop measuring your life by how happy you are, and start valuing the depth of your experiences, you free yourself from the impossible standard of perfection. Life isn't about avoiding pain or achieving constant joy. It's about embracing the full spectrum of what it means to be human. And as you reflect on your journey, you might find that the most important lesson is one of self-compassion, a topic we'll explore next. Why is it that we're so quick to offer kindness to others, but so harsh on ourselves? Self-compassion is one of the most underrated tools for navigating life's complexities. It's not about making excuses or avoiding accountability. It's about recognizing that being human means being imperfect. Think about it. When was the last time you forgave yourself for a mistake? Probably not as easily as you'd forgive a friend. But what if you started treating yourself with the same gentleness and understanding you offer to others? Self-compassion isn't just a feel-good concept. It's a practical tool for growth. When you stop punishing yourself for every misstep, you create space to learn from your experiences. For instance, instead of beating yourself up over a failed project or a strained relationship, ask yourself, what did this teach me? Maybe it's the importance of setting boundaries, or perhaps it's a reminder to prioritize what truly matters. By approaching your challenges with curiosity instead of criticism, you transform them into stepping stones for wisdom and resilience. And here's the beauty of self-compassion. It doesn't just make you kinder to yourself, it makes you wiser. When you stop seeing your struggles as evidence of failure and start viewing them as opportunities for growth, you unlock a deeper understanding of what it means to live authentically. Life isn't about being perfect. It's about showing up, learning, and trying again. So as you navigate the ups and downs, remember to give yourself grace. After all, the journey is far from over, and there's so much more to explore. Life is not a destination, it's a journey, and like any journey, it's filled with unexpected detours, breathtaking views, and moments where you feel utterly lost. But that's what makes it beautiful. The truth is, there's no final point where everything magically falls into place. Even when you achieve a goal or overcome a challenge, new ones will arise. The key isn't to chase an endpoint, it's to learn how to embrace the process, with all its highs and lows. Think of life as a winding road. Some stretches are smooth and easy, while others are steep and rocky. You might not always know where the path is leading, but every step teaches you something. The struggles build your strength, the victories fuel your hope, and the quiet moments remind you to pause and appreciate how far you've come. When you stop focusing on where you should be and start appreciating where you are, you open yourself up to the joy of simply being present. Embracing the journey also means letting go of the need for control. You can't predict every twist and turn, and that's okay. Instead of resisting the unknown, try leaning into it. Trust that even the difficult moments are shaping you into the person you're meant to become. And remember, you're not alone on this journey. Everyone you meet is walking their own path, facing their own struggles, and learning their own lessons. Together, we're all part of this messy, beautiful adventure called life. So as you move forward, take a deep breath and remind yourself, it's okay to not have all the answers. It's okay to stumble, to feel lost, and to start over. What matters is that you keep going, one step at a time. And with that, let's wrap up with some final thoughts on finding meaning and peace in the chaos of life. Life is messy, unpredictable, and often overwhelming, but it's also full of beauty, growth, and meaning. The chaos we face isn't something to be avoided or feared, it's something to be embraced. It's in the chaos that we find our strength, our resilience, and our ability to adapt. It's where we learn the most about ourselves and the world around us. And while the journey may not always be easy, it's always worth it. The key to finding meaning in the chaos is to shift your perspective. Instead of seeing challenges as obstacles, view them as opportunities. Instead of striving for perfection, for progress. And instead of judging yourself harshly, practice self-compassion. Life isn't about having everything figured out. It's about showing up, learning, and growing along the way. Remember, you don't have to have all the answers. It's okay to feel lost, to make mistakes, and to start over. What matters is that you keep moving forward, one step at a time. Embrace the messiness, cherish the moments of joy, and trust that even in the hardest times, there's something valuable to be gained. So as you navigate your own journey, take a moment to pause and appreciate how far you've come. Celebrate your victories, no matter how small, and honor the lessons you've learned along the way. Life may not always go as planned, but that's what makes it an adventure. And in the end, it's not about the destination, it's about the story you create along the way. Now that you've explored these ideas, the real question is, what will you do with this knowledge? Will you continue living on autopilot, or will you take the first step toward transforming your life? Think about it. What's one small change you can make today to embrace your imperfections? Face your challenges with courage, and treat yourself with the compassion you deserve. Your journey to a better, more fulfilling life starts with action. So, what's stopping you? Ask yourself, what kind of person do I want to become? What's one thing you've been avoiding that could change everything if you faced it head on? Don't let fear or doubt hold you back. You have the power to rewrite your story, one decision at a time. The question is, are you ready to take control of your life? If this content resonated with you, don't stop here. Subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss another video. Together, we'll continue exploring the tools, strategies, and insights you need to overcome anxiety, build self-confidence, and create the life you've always wanted. Your transformation starts now. Let's make it happen.